Greetings, everyone. Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. I hate sad news is my UFO show with Tina Bird about UFOs and abduction is going to be terminated for now. Tina's running into serious family problems, so we might get together sometime in the future and start over. But we went together for 3 years. But we'll see what happens now. I'm doing a show same day. I'll be working with TJ Morris. We worked together for 12 years already. And it's going to be spiritual truth only. And I promise you, if you want the truth, it's the place to go. We had the same deal with this show that we were doing, the truth about UFOs, government, and aliens. But people don't want it. I'm working on myself as well, trying to get all together for the new show coming up. But people, you have questions, put them in the chat. I answer all my questions sooner or later, hopefully sooner than later. But I want to get into a couple of things. I mean, the UFO world is incredibly changing in a great way. More stuff's coming out, but not by the government and not by the UFO people. It's all the people that walk around the streets with cameras in their hands taking pictures of what's happening. People keep needing to do that. You need to film, take pictures of whatever you see, because it's the only way it's going to ever become mainstream public. Sure, you get all these people claiming everything's fake, it was created on a computer, and blah, blah, blah. But remember, if you have a few more witnesses with you whenever it happens, makes it that much more credible for most people. I can tell most pictures whether they're real or fake just by how clear they are. Now, I'm not going to stay on that too long because I'm moving away from that for a while. So, but in the interim, I had 16 friends in the UFO world that were all taken out because they had too much truth. They were talking about the truth and they were showing it, proving it. John Ford's in the nut house in Long Island since 1996. All right, he shot the best actual video of a UFO crash on Long Island. I saw it. He sent 4 copies around the world, and they only get released if he dies. So they're going to keep him in a nut house forever. That's just one story. All right. John Edmond, who I worked with for a couple of years, made him come out, and he did. We didn't agree on a lot of things, but his ranch, all right, was more stuff going on there than the Skinwalker Ranch. Even Mr. Bigelow tried to buy it from him. I can go on about that, but it's a new world, new time, and I'm going to go into something different for a while. Not that I haven't been on a spiritual quest all my life. I wrote 5 books. My new book's coming out this week. But the truth is, very few people want the truth. I mean, all these workshops and classes. I'm going to name a few people. Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, the Dalai Lama, the Pope. All right. They have great wording and stories to tell, and they're making more money than anybody else. Deepak Chopra is one of the richest medical doctors in the United States. Eckhart Tolle got his fame by hanging out with Deepak, not with Deepak, but they did a show together. But basically, it was Oprah that helped both of them become super famous and become super millionaires. People, if you want the truth, you shouldn't be paying top dollar for it. It's not like food where you need it and have to have it. Truth should be given to those people that want it. Very few people want the real truth anyway. I mean, the Bible is the best-selling book on the planet, has always been, but it's filled with so many lies and stories that have nothing to do with the truth of why it was created in the first place, which wasn't a good reason. Moses wasn't the most spiritual person on the planet, and basically, I call him the most highest black magician that ever lived. But we'll get into all those things in the show that we're going to be doing every Tuesday. It'll be 4, 5, 6 o'clock California time. All right, for an hour or 2, depending how long TJ wants to go. I promise you nothing but the truth. The stories aren't going to be made up and brought out of somebody's hat or somebody's false book or whatever. Okay, there's a little truth in the Bible. I hate to tell you that. There is, but you have to find it. and very few people find any truth in the Bible. They believe all the lies and the stories. Why Jesus really came here, what he really did, and what he really taught is not in the Bible. He didn't come here, people, and I know you're going to hate this. He didn't come here to save everybody's sorry ass, because you deserve what you get. Karma is what Buddha talked about way before Jesus came here, but he was dead right. Karma is something you create and work out and pay off. Nobody can take it away. All right, when Jesus was with people and they got healed, he never took credit for it. Second of all, people only get healed when they deserve it. Now, the second part of that, how long does it last? What are you trying to heal? Well, I don't want to ever die. I want to heal myself so I don't get sick and die. Guess what? Not going to happen. But you got a sickness and you heal it. How long does it stay gone? All these healers taking credit and fame and all those words from that are pulling your leg, taking your money for lies. Nobody on this planet has that ability right now. It's all in the power that gets healed. Meaning your own energy is going to heal you, not his or anybody else's. And then again, based on your karma, it's going to be how long it lasts, whether it's a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years. But when you die, all your karma is going to be accountable. Is it all paid off? Just paying off your karma is not the answer to why you're here in the first place. We're going to go into all that, where you go, how to get there, what to do, and all those other kind of things that most people have no clue, cannot even talk about. So it's my saddest feelings and emotions dealing going out to Tina. She's been going through so much stuff in the 3 years that I knew her. She's radioactive, people. When I first met her, I made her buy a Geiger counter, which I bought one too. And we showed she was radioactive all the time. But it was high some days, low some days, which is impossible. I made her go out and buy another guy. Well, I didn't make her. She went out and bought another Geiger counter to make sure. And she puts them both on when we do a show, and they both go off. She only bought the second one, but now family problems have caused her serious things. But she has every symptom of radioactive poisoning. All right? She's been in the hospital, more than most people ever will be in their whole life. But they lie to her. Everything that's happened to her is lies. Read her book. All right? It's about abduction, what happened to her, what's going on. But it's hard for her to deal with what she's dealing with now and her family, and that. I'm not saying I know she admitted that Men in Black visited her boyfriend a long time ago. All right? They tried killing him twice. But when the government wants to take somebody out, they just take them out. They don't make it that big. If it's a warning, they usually just kill people, your family. Like the head person, not the head person, one of the top people in MJ-12. They killed his whole family, and then they killed him. Oh, the only one that I knew in MJ-12. But people, what you hear, the court case is going on with Mr. Steven asshole. What was his name? Gregory Gar? Stephen Greer. All right. He's one of the most evil people in the UFO world. He's destroying the whole movement, brainwashing people if he can to think all aliens are good. They're here to save the planet and save people, and that we all need to talk to them. Well, people, I'm kind of glad I'm stepping away from it for a little while until I get all my videos and pictures together will I come back out on that frame. Because when I was with Sergeant 18 for years and we filmed more things than anybody else in the United States, and we showed every picture, all right, how many people really cared from 96 to like 2000? Then I brought them on a show we did on Carrie Cassidy's show for 9 months. We showed 5 new pictures every week, roughly 3, 4, 5, but new pictures that we shot personally, weren't made up by computers or anything else. We had a great following. Our chat room was filled with 50 to 80 people every night we did a show. We got hit by 1,200 people every morning. But after 9 months, they wanted me to pay $50 a show. And I wasn't about to pay for a show that I'm not making money on. Because there was a lot going on in between all that as well. So we kind of split, and I kind of say he sold out for a while to the government. And basically, he came out and said he was Lord Sargel. And then after that, now he's Sergeant 18 again, but he's claiming that he's got missions from God and all that. I challenged him. We went through all that. He was attacking my show, having people come on. I know whatever I wrote to him. He took it right down, but I sent it to him at AOL because he had his AOL. I have his AOL address because we were friends for many years. But when he gets in his mood or whatever happens, it's over. But people, I've been around the top in the UFO world. I've been around the top in the so-called spiritual world. There's no truth out there that most people can get or anybody can get. There's 2 religions on this planet out of 2,000 that actually could help a person understand and unfold to a more spiritual level than they're at right now. Praying isn't an answer for anything. Sending unconditional love is not the answer. Sitting back and waiting is not an answer. I can go into what Jesus said that were important, but most people don't talk about it. And the second thing, people, if you read the Bible, if you're a Bible thumper, did you ever read the whole Bible? Read Revelation. It's only a couple pages. Read it 5 times. You could read it 5 times in a couple hours. Listen to what John says about sins, how most of them can't be forgiven. So when people say, well, I did this, I can go to my priest and do 50,000 Hail Marys and I'm forgiven. Really? Go back to what Buddha was teaching about karma. But then again, Buddha never believed in God. And there was 4 Buddhas, if you don't know that as well. But they didn't talk about God because they didn't work or get to the level where God dwells or even any way to get closer to it. So they made it to the astral plane where energy goes, and they made it to the bliss state. And you could stay there. It's like staying in a dream world of light or sound, vibrating in it, but doing nothing. So it's a useless state. I mean, it's a good place if I don't want to work today, I'm going to take today off. But it's not a place to decide to stay. And the other word that was brought out was universal consciousness. Another false word, being accepted greatly. I don't know why people would want to accept it. Imagine being one with everybody. All have the same consciousness. That means you're part of the, I'm not even going to say all the horrible words on this show, but you're part of all of it. And you're all the same, really? You don't want to believe you become more spiritual, more aware, closer to a real God than man's ego? Well, I'm putting a book out. It's come out probably today or this week for women only. It's about how they need to survive, protect themselves, know what to do in all situations. The crime level for women is horrible. What they're doing to women is horrible. It has never been good, people. 100,000 years and women were always slaves. The actual word love wasn't actually created in 2000 until 2,000 years ago. But it doesn't mean anything. Not in this world anymore. You fall in love, get married, how long you stay together? 2, 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, and then still break up? Love doesn't mean anything really, except for a man to win a woman over. And then they think they got it to do whatever they want after that. Men have an ego. I gave up mine pretty much a long time ago. Oh, you got it. I live in truth. Truth is not ego. Ego means you think you have a truth and you want people to believe it even though you don't. When you say you're God, when you say you're an angel, when you say anything, prove it. Even Caroline Corey in the UFO world claims she could levitate a piece of paper and she changed people's DNA. Well, the DNA part's rather simple. It's just energy, and we all can play with energy in this reality. But to levitate a piece of paper, you can levitate a car. There's no difference. Levitation is the same thing. I spent my whole young period of my life as a high priest working with the 32 psychic abilities, and I only learned 3/4 of them. The two important ones I wanted to learn, I didn't and couldn't. But I learned then anybody that plays with psychic abilities today is not working from God and have no clue what they're doing as far as helping the planet, because they're not. They're not helping people. You can't take somebody's karma away. Go to the jail and take all their karma away and let them all walk the street. Go right ahead. It doesn't happen, people. People don't change. Well, oh, he was in rehab or he did this. You don't change. You pretend you change to get out if you're in prison or in a nut house or whatever. But when they released 140 people in New York City, 2 weeks they all had to be arrested for the same crime they went to jail for. And now that they're going to be overcrowding jails greatly, we're in serious trouble. They want to pass a bill, which is another ridiculous thing that government does, is want to put all homeless people in jail. What do you think that's going to do? Go to the jail system. Now, know this. Jails get paid an average between $100,000 and $150,000 per person for the year. Do they spend that kind of money in jail while they're in there, feeding the slop food that they give them and everything else? No. I mean, they clean their clothes and they put air conditioning on because they don't want to smell anything. But outside of that, they getting anything important? People, you live in lies. Now, when it talks about the president, presidents work for Congress and everybody else together. They're all a group of program people trying to program people. The Constitution has nothing to do with religion, even though it says you have the right to have a religion. How does that make sense? It doesn't. Because most religionist people or people in religions have no actual freedom. I know one Native person, because he was a religious priest, spiritual elder for a word, was allowed to carry marijuana on a plane. How many people can do that? But then again, they tortured Native people for how many years and killed most of them? We talk about religion. Look at the White House. Look at the statues. Look at the pictures, what were there and what was created around it. And what was the Constitution? A way to take away people's rights, not give them any. It doesn't give you any rights. Oh, freedom of speech, freedom of this, freedom to enjoy life, freedom to protect your home. You don't have any of those rights, people. Mr. Musk is creating freedom on his site. Go on it. Watch it. I go on it, write him letters every day. His site is evil. People that think they have freedom can... The violence on every other message going up is women getting beat up by five guys getting beat up by 100 guys, or two women beating each other up while everybody's clapping. I mean, it's violent. That's not freedom of speech. That would be called freedom of action, meaning you can beat anybody up and do anything you want whenever you want. But freedom is based for people that have a consciousness, a God, and respect life. Otherwise, there's no such thing as freedom. But even if you have that, the world doesn't have it. So you're living in a world that does not have freedom. I mean, some countries, a man or a child, a young girl can get married at 12 and have 3 husbands. Can they do that here? No. When you talk about freedom, whose freedom? The United States? All people? The Native people still don't have freedom. They never did. People who want to live under lies, you want to understand why God put us here, watch our show. We're going to get into all the details around it. Why? What happens? How do you do spiritual growth? How do you become part of that? How do you focus on that? Where do you get it? Who's going to give it to you? Priest, rabbi, minister, preacher? They talk about the same thing. Same thing that Deepak Chopra talks about. Eckhart Tolle. Deepak Chopra doesn't believe in God. He's a Hindu, and they believe in deities, and he doesn't talk about that much either. But he's talking about death like he knows a clue about it. Eckhart Tolle is a completely waste of your money. Living in the now, being the best you can. You are the best you can. Just realize you got to do the best you can instead of being slacking off or forgetting or not doing it just because you don't want to. You can't be made to do anything, really, unless you're being tortured to say something, and most people will give in anyway. But people, the show will be about spiritual truth at every level, things you can attain, things you're going to do, things you should be able to do, things you should know. Reading a person's aura is critical. Anybody can do it. You don't have to be a super psychic and super spiritualist or anything like that, because most of them can't do it either. Simple techniques could help you learn how to do it in a short time, if you want to learn it. Well, why do I want to read people's auras? You know exactly where they are, who they are, what's going on in their mind. I was empathic for almost a year and a half. It was the most horrible time, one of the most horrible times in my life. Seeing and hearing other people's thoughts is scarier than you could ever imagine. I don't think in all that time I meant, I believe in God. I'm going to do the right thing. And I understand what God wants me to do. No, people don't walk around saying that. And the 5 perversions of this reality is what keeps mankind coming back. Reincarnating, for a word. Lust, greed, anger, vanity, and attachment. But I rename them. Drinking and smoking, drugs, cheap thrills, cheap sex, and false love. All those illusions and games keep people here. Wanting to be the best. Best what? Best runner, best jumper, swimmer. So what? Does that make you better than anybody else because you can swim good? I mean, I watched a special of a boy, 12 years old, writing symphonies and things like that. Incredible. He's a young kid. But where did it come from? People have to realize you are here over and over until you learn what you come here for. And it's not how to play guitar. It's not how to throw a football or how to shoot a bird or anything like that. And I'll go into all this. Our show is going to be at least an hour every week. PJ's has a lot of different views and things that she experienced in her life as well. She was involved in the UFO world as well, but her husband was totally into it. So we worked together for 12 years. We went on and off about spiritual and UFOs, back and forth. This is going to be about spiritualism, the truth behind it, nothing else. If Teeners comes back out, we probably get together and start over, because her story is the most important UFO story about abduction. And it's real. And then you got these famous people. Well, it's a sickness in their mind, or it's this, or it's that. I mean, there's famous UFO speakers tearing down everything that's really going on. Well, that's fake. Oh, that's fake. You prove that it's fake. You can't prove that it's real, but you can't prove that it's fake either. Considering I saw thousands of UFOs in my life, I film them almost any night. I had about 5, 10 people in different sections in the neighborhood watching the sky, seeing all kinds of weird things. But nobody talks about it here, except the people when you ask them. But people, this is a real world. It's not a dream. It's not make-believe. And if you thought it was make-believe, watch Groundhog Day. If you're warped and pathetic and you believe that, watch that movie. Watch what happens. He keeps coming back at the end of the day. He goes to sleep, wakes up. It's the same day all over again. But he has to keep learning every single day so he knows what's going to happen every single part of that day. He can change anything he wants. Drive a car, do people, whatever. But the next day it's going to be starting all over. Watch it. So when you reincarnate and come back here and you don't remember anything, you're starting from scratch. If you can't remember your past lives, they're useless. Being, oh, I'm permanent. I won't ever die. Well, your body will. Your soul won't. Your mind will. So you're not a mind. And if it was true you were a consciousness, you wouldn't reincarnate again and come back into a body, back into hell. Why would you want to do something like that? And once you experience the other realms of God, you will not want to stay here forever. You'll want to serve out your time and leave. I had 5 death experiences. Each one of them showed me more and more. I'm not going to do the show long because this is just a preview of what to think about, what you should be thinking about, and what Tina has offered us over the 3 years, and what I'm going to be giving out and working with Tina, TJ, and what she has to offer. A lot more truth than what you're going to hear outside. You go to a UFO conference, you hear the same stories, twisted stories. It's like taking an alien and making them read the Bible. All right, it's so ridiculous. The truth is real, and there is only one truth. And it takes different levels to understand the truth. Because you're not ready for the highest part of the truth. So, well, truth is truth. Okay, I believe that. Well, what is truth? Well, it's something that's real. Okay, now what is it really? It's a 3-letter word that man created, but it's what it is real. And science will do everything they can to disprove it. And that's all they will do. They'll never prove about a God. They'll never prove about a deity. They'll never prove the important things that went on. The Egyptians, the Mayans, the Aztecs all followed deities or angels. Not angels, sorry, wrong one. And aliens. The Egyptians followed aliens completely. The Hindu people worship deities, and all their teachings were deities. But you know what it was in the beginning? The first religion was Hinduism. What was it about? The only thing that mattered to all those people, sex. The deities that work with them, it was only about sex. So where you place your attention, what you want to experience, who you want to be with and grow into or understand is up to you. You're never going to be forced to move forward. That's what freedom is. To come into this world, to stay here or move out of it. Decide to stay in hell, it's your choice. You can leave any time you want if you attain awareness and stop creating karma. People are afraid of the truth. I don't expect lots of people. I never did. You tell them what you believe is wrong. Oh, you're this, you're that, you're blah, blah, blah. You don't know. Well, I had 5 death experiences. I spent half of my life traveling out of my body. I met with deities, angels. I met with Satan. All right? Lucifer's an angel. He's not a demon. The Bible and people twist things around. You read the Bible, it's Satan. It's not talking about Lucifer all the time. But Lucifer was a fallen angel with the rest of the ones that fell. Gabriel and Michael are not the most spiritual beings in the universe. And it's like 90% of the planet, if they haven't experienced, oh, I met Michael. I went with Gabriel. Muhammad's brother told Muhammad that he was with Gabriel. He didn't even know who he was with. But how did his brother know? You know, stories are just stories, people. If you can't experience it, it's useless. You need to experience being out of your body. You need to experience your guides or angels that work with you. You need to understand your past lives, and then you can leave. Otherwise, you'll reincarnate. Next lifetime, you'll start all over being a shoemaker? What? What are you going to be? Invent a spaceship. Wow. Fly around in the worlds of hell. Now, the astral plane is not the physical plane, or our galaxy, or our universe. It's separate. And the worlds beyond that are separate from the astral plane. I can go into that. There's a spiritual side to that and a negative, bad side to it, which is based on Tesla. But all that's important information to help you get closer to the truth that you should be seeking. People, there is a truth. It is important to find it, to become aware of what life is, what hell is, what God is, what angels are, why you're really here. What are you really going to learn? How to build a bigger house, bigger car? I call the only thing that keeps man here is the toys that they create. And every toy has to be better than the last toy. I mean, when we were little, we didn't have electric bikes and things like that. And now we didn't have computers. What do you think they're going to have 25 years from now? The world's in serious trouble in 5, so don't even worry about 25 years from now. Feel sorry for your children, because they're going to reap what we allowed to happen. And it's going to happen in 5, maximum 6 years. Trump will not be able to stop it, change it, or do anything about it. The wars that are going to break out, he won't be able to stop it. But not based on Trump or Biden. We created the most incredible spaceship in the United States. It costs $40 billion. It has every weapon known to them on it. They can take out a country. They can take out the planet. They can do anything they want with that ship now. It will make the United States number one when they release it. I don't know when they're going to release it. It should be by the end of this year. But who knows? Don't forget, everything we see is already 25 to 50 years old. I can go into that, but it has nothing to do with God, spirit, truth, and what we need to focus on. Hate, anger, violence is not the answer. We're still allowing boxing as a sport with millions and millions of dollars in it. Paying somebody, allowed to beat somebody else up, but if I beat you up, I'm not allowed to do it. Well, you have to agree. Well, if I agree to die, can I die? No, why not? All the laws are not for you. It's for the people that control you and make money off of you. And what's happening to children, I don't want to talk about that now. Read my book. For women only. Women, you need to know what's happening and how to stop it from happening to you. People, I'm not going to go on, but please, it's Hawksblood1, AOL.com. Right now, it'll be Truth and God Only when I start doing my show. But it's all about being who you really are, looking for the truth, and not creating karma. Don't be expecting to die and be part of a consciousness. The consciousness isn't helping the planet, people. Do you understand that? A universal consciousness, and when massive killers, murderers, rapists, selling body parts, all those kind of things. That's the consciousness, and it's accepted. Drugs and drinking. Drinking's okay, but marijuana is not. Drinking kills more people than anything else on the planet. But that's okay. Marijuana makes people relax and become mellow. We don't want that. We won't make money on that. Unless they charge $500 for a marijuana joint. People, wake up. You got time. Not much. You got years, not centuries or anything greater. And you shouldn't want to be here that long. But please, I give you the ultimate truth. I'm responsible to God only, nobody else. All right, people. Send this link to everybody you know or want to know the truth or get involved with it or understand it. My show starts Tuesday with TJ. Hopefully everything will be okay. We'll see. 3 o'clock my time in Hawaii. California time, 6 o'clock. It'll be on YouTube, be on Facebook, it'll be on Twitter, X, and even LinkedIn. So if you're in those sites, it's Tommy Hawksblood. So please don't stop until you find the truth. Don't settle for the lies. And that's 99% of everything you hear. Is it good for anything? With the money that rich people make and they're making sure that they keep making it without paying taxes on it? Do you understand where Trump's coming from? He went to all these millionaires and said, well, don't worry, I'm not going to let them raise your taxes. Oh, why not? They don't pay much. The middle class and poor people pay it all. Why is that? Because when the Constitution was created, it was rich people controlling the poor people, killing the native people. Nothing more, nothing greater. Constitution wasn't beneficial for anybody except the people that had money. The underground cities, people, who do you think is going to go in them? You? You don't even know where they are, how to get in them. Jesse Ventura exposed that a long time ago. People like him, he pulled away, he went to Mexico, said, I'm not coming back in the United States. He said he'd run for vice president with Mr. Kennedy. Kennedy thought about it, he changed his mind. Most people don't know who Jesse Ventura is. Yes, he was a wrestler. Yes, he was a governor. But he was also the biggest whistleblower in the United States, exposing the most important and dangerous things on the planet. People, don't settle for garbage. And sports isn't the answer for anything except covering up your thinking. Playing football, baseball, hockey, whatever. You're focusing on just beating somebody up or beating them. You know, Native people created a stick game, and they would hit a rock around. But it wasn't to win. It was just to keep busy. All right, people. Whatever you need in your life, don't stop until you find it. Make sure that it's the right thing you're looking for. Truth is out there, and so is everything else. Don't take a wooden nickel ever. Peace, love, compassion, whatever you need, whatever you want. Don't stop. Sorry it's so short. I'm just trying to get you caught up on what's going to happen next week. Well, this week coming. And how the show's going to go down. Be open to questions. We'll bring people in. TJ likes to bring people in to talk and stuff. I'm not for that much because very few people have anything really important to say. And I'm talking about the biggest name speakers out there. I got an open debate for everybody I mentioned and everybody else that's on the top of the chart. In the UFO world, spiritual world, religious world, I said, if they ever grow a pair of balls just for a saying, let them debate me. On truth, on God, on death, on reincarnation. Why we're here, all those kind of things. Well, we can be the best we can. We can make more money. Money is not the answer to spiritual growth. It never will be. And money is not going to buy anybody into heaven or beyond this realm. So with all that, people, my show is going to be Tuesday, 6 o'clock California time. It'll be on all the sites that I can get it on, but it'll mainly be on YouTube. And it'll be recorded there, so you can pull it up anytime you want after the show is over. I'm not doing this for money, people. My new book, I'm putting it out to help women only. Sure, men are going to try to read it here and there, maybe or not, but it's for women only. It's about them, how they have to protect themselves, what they got to deal with, and what really goes on in a man's mind. All right, you heard it here. Tommy Hawksblood. Till next time. Please come in, stop in again. It'll be a little bit different because I keep saying Tina, I did 3 years with her. Now I'm going to be back with TJ. And we get into great stuff. So please tune in. All right, people.
Raise my eyes to the wild blue yonder. I can't believe what I see, and it makes me wonder why it's falling down on me. The sky's falling. The sky's falling. The sky's falling. The sky is falling. Raise my eyes to the wild blue yonder. I can't believe what I see, and it makes me wonder why it's falling down on me. The sky, the sky, the sky.
If anybody has any questions, please stick them in the chat room. I'll answer them or email me either way. Until then, everybody, sorry people came in a little bit late, but I said you could just watch this and be recorded. Raise my eyes to the wild blue yonder. I can't believe what I see, and it makes me wonder why it's falling down on me. The sky, the sky, the sky. Sky is falling.